Well, it's all fun and games until one of the sacred cows you hold dear gets smoked, isn't it, Democrats? Today, my brothers and sisters, I'm going to show you how Democrats, all in swing states, are very upset, emotionally torn apart, that the Biden administration would manipulate the Senate Bipartisan Safer Communities Act against archery programs in the swing states, which would endanger their jobs. That is what we're going to cover, and you guys are going to want to see every inch of this because I'm about to get spicy on some of these people. Everything will be linked in the description box below, and I cannot wait to show you who is actually causing a ruckus right here because it's not exactly who you'd think. And of course, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn the notification bell on. We're distributing freedom twice daily, and we'd love to have you along for the ride. All right, my brothers and sisters. We've covered the Senate Safer Community Bipartisan BS law multiple times. It's got all the goodies. I'm not going to relitigate that too much right now, but wait until I show you the actual letter, which we're going to cover tonight. Oh, man. But let's dive into this because this is an article that was released yesterday in the evening from Politico. Just listen to the title here because you'll see where I'm going. Bows, arrows, and Biden. Rural Dems angry with the White House over gun bill. The bipartisan gun safety bill passed last year has unintentionally affected school archery and hunting programs. Color me shocked. You gave a blank check to a leftist rogue administration and you're shocked when they go after some of your sacred cows, huh? Okay, I'm going to do this a little bit out of order. I'm going to show you this first snippet. And the reason I'm showing you this is specifically, I want to show you who the architects were and how they are complaining. Let's hear from John Cornyn and Tom Tillis, shall we? And then we're going to get to the goodness of the Democrats coming out against this. Check this out. Prohibiting school programs, quote, was never discussed in the negotiation, said Senator John Cornyn, who blasted the White House for derailing a bipartisan piece of legislation. The Biden administration can screw up two-car funeral. Well, John Cornyn, you're about to get some. Because this would never have been able to happen if you had not driven the entire negotiation with your buddy, Chris Murphy from Connecticut, the gun control extraordinaire who got all of these things in here. Yeah, you can't blame this on the Biden administration for screwing up a two-car funeral if you didn't give them the cars to drive to the two-car funeral. This is on you, boo. Because now, everything that you're claiming is a terrible thing, and they've overstepped, and they've just messed everything up. Would not have been possible without your endorsement. Let's continue. Republicans warn that the conflict has degraded trust in how future bipartisan bills would be enacted under a Democratic administration. Degraded trust? Were you watching YouTube? We were all screaming from the top of our lungs that you cannot trust the administration to follow with what they've said. So far, they've gone down on this exact same piece of legislation. They've gone down and included mandatory waiting periods for 18, 19, and 20-year-olds. They've handed out red flag funding for states that don't have red flag laws, going against the due process requirements you put in this law. And then they went out and said, you know what, everyone's now a gun dealer. Yeah, we're a little bit past that. You can't trust the Democratic administration. Numbnuts. I can't trust the Republicans who trusted the Democrats with this. This is the very guy who actually made this possible. Let's continue. I got the other one. Quote, this is the sort of stuff that makes people who would be inclined to support the policy say, but I can't trust the administration, said Senator Tom Tillis, Republican, North Carolina, one of the chief negotiators on the bill. I'm frustrated with this. This was not an easy bill to get bipartisan support on. You are a moron. I usually don't call names. I usually don't scream, but come on. Everyone on the planet on the Republican conservative gun rights side was saying, do not go near this. You cannot trust them to do anything. All the while they're whistling to the bank. You now get all the fallout because the archery programs and everything that would be extracurricular for everybody is now on the chopping block because of you. Let's continue. I wanted to do that first just in case you guys missed the end, but here's the beginning of the article. Let's get into this. So this came out on the 9/15th, so September 15th. Democrats last year hailed the passage of the first gun safety legislation in decades. Now, several of them are tearing into the administration over the measure's effect on school archery programs. Well, what'd you expect? You dance with the devil, you're going to get burned. Anyway, let's continue. As the law is being implemented, a rift has emerged between the Biden administration and rural state Democrats. By the way, rural state Democrats, and the reason this article is coming out is because those are swing states. Yeah, This is all about politics. Let's continue. They're at odds over guidance issued by the Department of Education, which states that a pot of federal dollars would be prohibited from going to school archery and hunting programs. You know, if you follow the Democrat and the left-wing attack on this, you'd say, Democrats are defunding schools. They want all of your children in the poorhouse and just to be slaves forever. If you wanted to go down the leftist approach on this, because they are actually cutting funding from schools with extracurricular activities which would keep kids out of trouble. But we can't say that because that would just be too controversial. Well, Democrats in swing states, enjoy, because politics is coming back to bite you right in the butt and the election is not looking good. Let's continue. The guidance angered Democrats from red states, see, swing states, see what I'm saying there? With the whole twist, where those programs are popular in schools. Probably shouldn't have supported that law, should you? It also has agitated Republicans who helped negotiate the gun safety legislation traders. But both argue the Education Department is misinterpreting Congress's intent and that the administration has shown little willingness to work on the issue. The exact same administration who has curtailed and massaged existing law and changed definition through executive bureaucracies to enact gun control outside their purview without congressional authority, and you're surprised they're misinterpreting the intent of Congress? You're either, and these are the only options, you are either completely inept, you have no common sense whatsoever, you're in it with them, or you just don't deserve your job. It's one of those four. Because if you honestly expected them to follow what they promised here, I got a bridge to sell you somewhere you don't need a bridge, and it'll be at a very affordable price. Good Lord. Let's continue. The Department of Education is just over their skis on this and has not been channeling congressional intent, said Democratic New Mexico, seeing the trend here, Senator Martin Heinrich. The agency, quote, has been a little tone deaf on this and is not as responsive as I would like to see because they went after the funding of gun classes and gun schools, and it's not gun schools, gun classes and gun training programs and after school programs from shooting because archery got caught up in it. That's just, you have to make an eggs to get an omelet. You got smoked by your own side. So enjoy the political reaping when this comes around because you're affecting children. So enjoy, but let's continue. Here's some more stuff, because this is where it gets really juicy. The debate that has ensued is now cutting at a long time intra-party divide between Democrats from states with a long heritage of hunting and the more progressive corners of the party that back strict gun control measures. Yeah. All the red states and all the purple states that have Democratic representatives, it's their fault. It's on them. So if you like your archery programs, if you like your hunting programs, and you don't want to get dismissed from your heritage, which is their birthright, by the way, you need to get these idiots out of Congress because they're the ones that brought it to you, and now they're coming out against it and writing letters and signing it, and I can't wait to show you who signed it. They're coming out and saying this is beyond the pale because it affects them politically. It's all about them. That's why this is disgusting, and I think they should be kicked out of office. Anyway, let's continue. Beyond Heinrich, Democrats who signed on to a recent letter asking the Education Department to reconsider their read of the law includes Senators Tammy Baldwin of Wisconsin, ooh, that's a purple state, Tim Kaine of Virginia, purple state, Amy Klobuchar of Minnesota, she wants to be president so she can't ostracize anybody in the hunting heritage, and Bob Casey of Pennsylvania, purple state, all of whom are for re-election this year. That is so weird, isn't it? Anyway, let's continue. Senator John Tester of Montana, one of the most vulnerable Democrats in the red state, has introduced a bipartisan bill to restore the funding, which he hopes will be added to government spending bill. He said the administration has this one flat out wrong and chastised D.C. bureaucrats who don't understand rural America. Maybe, just maybe you shouldn't have voted for this because you're going to lose your job. He's also in a red state, and he's going to lose a Democratic seat in the Senate come this 2024 cycle because he's most vulnerable. And now he's trying to get funding back in there to say, look, I fixed it. Yeah, no, you made your bed. Enjoy it. Hope you roll over the thorns and the roses and stuff. Anyway, one more. Ooh, this got a little spicier than I expected it to, but let's just wrap it. The Education Department has stressed that the law doesn't prohibit shooting and archery programs from being supported through other sources of funding, just from ESEA dollars. Moreover, the Biden administration says that so far no schools have actually been denied funding over the law's language. Does that sound familiar? And this is why I put this in there. The ATF? No. This law is perfectly fine. It's definitely changing of guns and receiver. It's definitely outlawing pistol braces and redefining the rules, but no one's been in trouble yet, so we're good, right? It's okay. The exact same arguments keep popping up. No, don't be upset about this rule. And there's nothing wrong because nothing's actually been affected. It's just a law, and it's just there, but it's no big deal. And that's what I've got for you guys. Let me know what you think in the comments field below, and I'll see you on the next one. I'm Braden. See you later.